Good afternoon, class. Listen, just wanted to touch base with you with this week 5 video. Let me just make a few comments about the discussion board this past week. Many of you did really an extensive job tracking down Paul's chronology, but then I think because you spent so much space on that, most of you did not really do maybe a more as thorough a job with, for example, the purpose and the occasion of Galatians and all the different components of that question. So just make sure that when you're answering your discussion board questions that you really give full attention to both questions. And for the replies, when you're doing the reply, when you're replying to a specific student, just reply to one of their posts. You don't have to reply to both of them in the same. In fact, I would prefer that you just reply to one of their posts so that you could spend more time and more space and give more thinking to that particular post that they made and how you're going to go about replying to it. Also, most much better job with your notations, your footnotes. However, some of you still need to work on your footnote citations, and by this particular time, we should all have this down pretty well. I have sent to all of you via email an attachment with the basics for how to properly cite the various kinds of sources. So look over that. Also look at, what are some words that do need to be capitalized? What are some words that don't need to be capitalized? And so just look over that entire manual that I sent to you. It's only a few pages, so it'll be very helpful. And it's a great resource to have right next to you as you're writing, because then it's got the form right there and you can just pop it in. Also, this coming week, of course, we got a lot of stuff going on. You guys did great on the quiz, by the way. Overall, I think there are probably more A's and B's on this particular quiz than previous classes. So well done. Way to go, guys. And certainly I know that some of you may not have done as well as you had hoped, but just keep working hard, keep studying. And I'm sure that you'll really begin to see some improvement in those grades. This week, wow, we're going to get into really some great content of Paul's letters. First and Second Thessalonians will be awesome. So make sure you answer each part of that question. Listen, make sure that you differentiate between the occasion and the purpose for both First Thessalonians and Second Thessalonians, okay? But read over and answer each part thoroughly. The next one really has to do with Paul's various interactions with the Corinthian church. So just make sure that you order out well and cite the notations, the biblical references for when Paul mentions his various interactions with the church. For example, and do it in order, how he interacted with that church. And you'll see that as you read through it. But and then answer, about the theories about the opponents in Corinth. That's very important as well, and how he responded. The next one has to do with really the purpose of 1 Corinthians and 2 Corinthians. So make sure you note the purpose for 1st and 2nd differently. They're different. And there's some special issues with respect to 2 Corinthians. And so make sure that you cover thoroughly the whole issue about 2 Corinthians and whether it's one letter or 2 letters or 3 letters. And so that may take a little thinking through, but do so and answer it really well. And then, of course, the occasion and the purpose for Romans. This is a little straightforward, but please make sure that you do so, you answer it well. And then the last one really has to do with defining terms. And those terms really are major terms that we find in the book of Romans, namely righteousness, and really righteousness of God, faith, and justification. Now, make sure that you define those terms very well. In the textbook, our authors do a good job of explaining really what these terms mean. Don't, for example, this is not what I want to see. I don't want to see with faith, you quoting Hebrews chapter 11. No, what do these terms mean in Romans specifically? So make sure you read thoroughly what our textbook authors have to say about these 3 terms, because they're very important terms. And then, of course, answer the other parts of the questions. Listen, I want you guys to know that I'm always available. If you need anything, questions, shoot me an email, and I'll get back with you as soon as possible. And hey, just a quick reminder, the paper is just around the corner. So make sure that you're doing some research and some writing, and just making sure you get some good sources. That's a big part. Making sure that you have some really good sources that are going to help you flesh out the really kind of the historical sketch, as well as your own special topic that you choose to write on. Well, guys, I hope that you have a great week. And again, just get in touch if you need something, all right? You guys have a great day. God bless.